Like to start if there isn't any questions on the horizon. If there is, I will start with a question, but if not, I will start with Isaiah. So, Fernando, do you have any question to start with?
I'm ready to follow you, Eti.
Thank you. So, do you see by chance the whiteboard? The concept board? Yes, there is a verse that we copied into the whiteboard, concept board. This is from Isaiah 9:6. One word, which is very interesting, to the end of time, to the concept of the ends of time. So when you're ready, I shall be happy to start.
I'm opening here, just a moment.
Mm-hmm. I can put this chapter as a link on the YouTube in a second for the YouTubers who are watching. Second. Isaiah 9.
Yes, I have it here.
Thank you so much.
So Isaiah 9, verse
Yes,
6,
yes, please.
that the government may be increased, and of peace there be no end, upon the throne of David, and upon his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it through justice and true righteousness from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts doth perform this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fernando. In Hebrew, we have very interesting word or letter that does not appear in any other place in the Bible. Here, I will mark it, lemarbe hamisra, to that the government may be increased. The word lemarbe naturally, maybe I will increase the pen size 1 second that everybody could see, because at the moment it's very thin, the pen. Lemarbe, usually we are writing it with a regular mem, lemarbe, to increase. We have two kinds of mem. This is a regular mem, yes, the sound in English is M, and this is a final mem, final. This is final. It appears at the end of the word, like in the word maim, water, maim, water. The opening letter is regular mem, the opening letter, but the final, the one that closes, is final mem, final letter, which is what? Closed, like a closed room with no window or door. Four walls, concrete. So we have two kinds of letter mem, regular mem, and final mem. In this specific verse of Isaiah, we find at the beginning or even at the middle a final mem. You see here, Fernando, you see this letter here? Do you see the whiteboard? I'm not sure. Yes, you have a sound, Fernando. So here in the verse 6,
Yes, I'm following. Yes.
thank you. In verse 6, we find something that we don't find in the whole Bible, like a final mem in the middle of a word. And many people are asking themselves, is it a printing mistake? Is it mistake of the printing uh, edition? And they say no, because in the Hebrew Bible there is no, so to speak, mistakes. And the question is, what does it mean, lemarbea misra, when we find a final mem in the middle, like this, a closed room like this, lemarbeh hamisra. What does it mean? And we shall open and continue with the page. Since this verse speaks about the end of times, this verse describes uh, a new realm of thinking and being. And this new world is described by this mem, because this mem, final mem, describes the end of time. And let's go back to the letter Aleph. The letter Aleph is composed of letter Vav, which is value is 6, and two letter Yod. Each one has the value of 10. So together we have 26. we were mentioning that this upper yod, like in the struggle of your bulk, is beyond space and time. This part, but the other part, and I will color it. This part and this part, it's basically time. This is time and space. We even can see like a bit of a T, yeah? Time and space. So time and space is represented by what? 6 plus 10 is 16. And 16 is an expression of 4 double 4. Is that right? 4 double 4
Yes,
gives
yes,
16? Yes, very good. We can also mark the number 4 by the letter Daled. The letter, oops, the board just moved. 1 second, I will locate the board that I could write. Yes, instead of writing 4 double 4, we can write the following. Daled, the letter Daled, yes, and a mirror of the letter Daled but opposite. Do you see, Fernando?
yes, I'm following.
And when we put them together, Daled on Daled, what do we get?
The
Final
mem.
mem, the mem,
Yes.
very final mem. And what does the verse speak about? Once, what is to increase the government? Misra is not just government. Misra, if you pay attention, is sar. You remember the word sar, minister?
Yes.
Sar is minister. Minister is the sense of self-inflated people, not just ministers in the government, but when people, the level of their self-importance is rising and rising and rising until no end, with no relation to people around them. So this verse speaks about that the self-inflation of people will grow so much until it will reach this point, lemarbe hamisra, increase in self, um, self, what do you say? Self when people have self-inflation. So it can increase people's self-importance, can increase that hard that it becomes the regular mem becomes a closed mem, and daled or 4 and 4 or daled on daled becomes closed mem. We can also see that 4 on 4 is basically dam. Yes, because 1 4 is daled, another 4 in the power of 10 is mem, is 40. And dam is something which is very close. It has no aleph. There is no spirit of unity. So the world will reach such a concrete level that from there, from this point, there is no progress. And this is we see in this meme, because what will come out at this point again from the 26, which is the value of aleph, we reduce the 16, the 4 and 4, which is an expression of 4 and 4, or the blood, or how much we are stuck in concrete. And we have basically the 10. The 10 is the covenant. And then comes justice. When people, everything will fall and justice will remain. Do we see this? Or it's too complex to understand, Fernando?
I'm following it. I'm following, and I'm thinking about these days. You know.
Mhm.
Yes.
Questions that you would like to ask?
Yes.
Yes.
I was looking at the versity, and
Yes.
in the verse we can see that it in the final in this the very final of this line, the first line,
Yes. Yes.
uh, velo shalom ein ketz.
Yes.
And it's interesting because kids is end, right? And
Yes,
and once you said that kids is referring to the Sophite letters,
yes,
right? And Ein, we could think about the Ein Sof maybe.
yes,
So it's from Ein Sof to the final, to the bottom of the existence. It's like, I don't know if it
yes,
make any sense, but I'm just seeing that we can see the very first uh, motor of creation, that is Ein Sof, and the very
yes,
last, very bottom, that is Ketz.
yes. This is great what you say. Ula, Ula Shalom en Ketz, and the peace has no end. What does it mean? En also implies on the infinite Ein, but en Ketz, Ketz is the end. Ketz is the end. Ketz, Ketz, Kof, Tzadik, Ketz. Ketz is the end. No end. And Ketz, it means no end, that the peace has no end. So what does it mean that the peace has no end? If Ketz has the value of, here we have 100 and here we have 90 or 190. If we take this out, the zero, we are left with 19, which is the value of Eve, Chava. Eve is also the time concept, the perception that we have, the experience. It means that the peace has no end, that the peace is basically timeless. Because Enketz, there is no if, there is no 19. If there is no 19, Enketz, if there isn't any 19, and from the 45 of Adam, we are removing the 19 of Eve, the time, we are left with the tetragrammaton, or with the letter Aleph. Felipe, good morning. It is mean also Enket is boundless, boundless peace. Because what brings the sense of war? The sense of time, duality, the combat feeling. But since we cross in this verse, we are crossing time and space. So the Shalom and Ketz, peace has no boundaries, has no ending. It's infinite peace. Does it make any sense?
Yes. It's a returning point, this verse, maybe.
Yes. The ego is not amigo. Yes, thank you, Zini. The ego is not. There is a song like this. Yes, ego is not any longer my friend. Yes, yes. Thank you. And Nadelia, good morning. Good morning, Nadelia. And Felipe, good morning. Can you hear us? Good morning, Felipe. Fernando, questions or impressions?
it's uh, it's beautiful. I'm thinking about this turning point to the tetragrammaton, to 26, the 45 coming back to 26, and closing the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And if I may ask you a question, but because it makes me remember about the separation between Adam and Hava,
Mm-hmm.
when Cain had killed Abel, Adam and Hava was splitted for 130 years, right?
Yes, yes.
And it seems that in that time the demons were born because the book of Zohar says that Adam was alone and sad, and and he could not bring to the body, he could not embody the ideas,
Mm-hmm.
right? He
Yes,
could
yes,
not bring the experience alive. It was only in the mind field, let's say.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And the book of Zohar says that uh, the Adam, the humanity needs to bring forth the manifestation, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
The children. The children is the work of the hands, and not to be only in the mind, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering if this verse of Isaiah is like mirroring the coming back, the turning point, and if we could make any relation with this idea of going to the manifestation and coming back from the manifestation as at some point, you know, because it seems that first we have to manifest something in the world, maybe this shalom to the world, but
Mm-hmm.
embodied it, and after you have to reclaim all the manifestation and unite with the 26 with Hashem.
Yes, yes. This is basically yes. The answer is yes. To bring back everything to the source. Yes, yes. There is no separation between Adam and Eve, because if you look at the distance between them, because they were separated for 130 years. If we take the zero again outside and the distance between them we double in two, what do we get? The 26. Or if we leave it 130, double two, this is 260. 260 always, or 620 refers to crown, because 260 is 10 times the tetragrammaton, and 620 is the value of Keter, crown. Did I answer your question?
I think so. I'm just looking and thinking. Many ideas came. It seems that just trying to clarify the ideas is it
Mhm.
seems that is the sense of separation with what is around, right?
Yes,
It's
yes,
to reclaim that we are not separated at all, and to reclaim our projections into another person, to see that
yes,
everything is a unity.
yes. This is what Weinreb speaks about also. I think we share this quote of him this week also. Eve, Eve is not just a name, it comes from Havaya. Havaya is experience. Havaya is experience. And we often think that the experience is something external to to the spirit, to the inner sense of life. We see this like a person. Our experience is something external. We don't see the experience as part of us. We look at our experience like a person looks at the vitrina, like people walk in a certain boulevard and they see shops and they see beyond the glass like a representation of jewelry or books or fashion or electronic gadgets. We tend to see things as separated, but at the end of times, we could see that everything is unified. Our experience is not separated. I mean, Eve in us, the sense of time. Eve is 19. The sense of time. We were saying that every 19 years, the solar calendar and the lunar calendar are uniting. They start from zero again. So we see at the end of times that our experience is not something external to us. It's not external. It's part of a whole unity. Because if our experience is external, this is how we think, we feel that we are uh, disconnected by terming the fact that our mind tell us that our experience is far. Our mind is sending us a signal that we are separated, but it's not like this. Only when we remove the veil of time, this is something that this is with work, I mean, with a lot of reflection, we can do this slowly. We can remove the veil of time. We can see that everything is united. Do we understand, or there's a lot of work to do here in Israel?
I just saw one connection. I don't know if it make any sense, but
Yes,
Havaya,
yes,
we can split into two, Het and
yes,
Vav, and Ya,
yes,
right? Het and
yes, very
Vav.
good. Het and Vav, and very good, very good. Het and Vav, this is very good, very good. Chavaya, Chavaya experience is Het and Vav plus Ya. Yes, this is what you're
Yes,
saying. Yes,
yes.
and
And Het and Vav is 14, 1 to 4.
excellent, excellent.
Yadam.
Very
and and Ya, we can, if we write the Ya in with the feeling, we get 26, right? We get
with the feeling 26. Yes, yes, with the feeling. Yes, we got. You mean like this? You mean with the Vav Hey? This
no
is what you
Yod.
mean with the feeling of the Ya itself. Yes, because
Yes,
there are many ways to write it. Yes, yes. 1 second, like this: Yod and Hey. Is that right? Because
yes,
Yod is 20 and Hey with Aleph, this is 6. This is the feeling. And then we are arriving at what? At 40. Yes?
yes,
Havaya, what is experience? Being in time. And 40 we can express either by the letter regular mem or by what? The final mem. So you arrived at Isaiah. Very good, Fernando.
like Philippe said, it's like a jam session. We do not know what it games, but you
Just
only look into the.
go open, see what happens. So why not? Thank you so much. So we have several questions here at the moment. Good morning, Daniel. There is a, this is why love your neighbor as your self is such an important teaching. Our neighbor is part of self. Yes, yes,
Yes, indeed.
yes. And there's another question. Do we have to wait for the end of times or we can have this right now? Sure, we can have this right now. It's not about waiting. It's about the filter. If we can remove the veil or we can remove the dust of struggle in time, it's possible to experience the eternal now. Yes.
Eti,
Yeah.
uh, this Daniel was the one who make a sketch
Yes,
of
this is
listening
Daniel
and
Osborne that we posted. Daniel, good morning. We thank you for let us share your sketch about the musical diagram. We posted on Slack, and now Fernando wants to tell you something. Yes,
yes, congratulations for the sketch. It is beautiful, and you know that just this week I was listening from a lecture and from Jonathan P. Joe in a Jungian Institute, and he was saying that a mathematician is trying to prove that when we have a group listening and conversating and gathering, uh, it, in mathematical proposition is like making a one being, one only human. It's like it makes me remember the collective soul. It's like something like this. And the drawing of Daniel also makes me remember about a vessel. When we are together, we make a bigger, larger vessel for the divinity, maybe.
yes, yes. This is the feeling that I got too from this beautiful diagram. That there's like a gathering of few that creates a sense of a wholeness and holiness. Definitely. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for drawing and thank you for sharing it with us. Good morning, Kevin. How do you do? Nice to host you here this morning.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. How are you, Kevin, this morning?
I am well. How are you?
Fine. We're very happy to host you here and to discuss this beautiful topic about the end of times, how it
Oh,
is in a way dependent on our perception. How
mm,
can we see reality from the other side, beyond the veil of time and space? And by doing this, we can experience the eternal now.
wonderful. Good morning, everyone. Whichever your
Good
time
morning.
is in.
Yes, yes. Good morning, good evening. Yes.
Shalom, Kevin. Shalom.
Shalom.
Any questions, Kevin, that you'd like to ask?
Yes, the picture of the image with the
Hmm.
moon and the crane. I would love to hear your impressions.
Okay, so let's try to bring it to the that everybody will share it. I'll try to bring it to the concept board. 1 second. Yes, let's do it. How can we do it? Let's do it. 1 second. This is the whiteboard. I'll try to bring it. Yes, but I cannot guarantee this. Um, Fernando, if you have the whiteboard, can you go to Slack and bring it? Because I try to, I'm not, okay, insert, okay, upload file. Yeah, okay, I'll try to do it. One, It is uploading. Tell me if you can see. Can we move it? Yeah. Andre, can you focus the class on this? This is what you meant, Fernando? Fernando, Kevin, sorry, there's everything is happening at the same time. It worked. So where is the class?
I'm not on the board yet, but I will be in a minute.
So you speak about the crane at the full moon or the crane at the dusk, like which
Both?
one? Because we posted both. So let me bring
Yeah.
as well the other one. Okay, 1 second. Where is it? Okay, section. Try to, where is it? Fernando? Okay, let's bring another one. At the moment, we have only one. I cannot bring the other one
It's no problem.
for some kind of reason. I cannot insert. I try to bring another one. Okay. Now it's uploading the second. Okay. Andre, can you show them? Because I don't have a moment now. I cannot see what is happening on YouTube because I don't have a connection. I hope it is showing somewhere, but I cannot see it. So we here see two pictures. Yes, Kevin, do you see the concept board? Fernando, do you see the concept board?
Oh, it's still loading for me, so I'm
Yes,
sure it will come up.
Yes, Fernando
it's
I
streaming
see it now.
already. It
is
is
streaming,
streaming.
and Felipe can see as well because I don't see the view.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So now ask your question.
No, just the question was, I would love to hear the impressions that you get from this. When I was looking at it, I had this impression of the upper waters and the mem, and so that's just it's very beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Just there is like another request here. Yes, Felipe is here. Good morning, Felipe. Just to open the conversation, I would like to speak about those two pictures. Those were taken at the full moon here in Israel at the Upper Galilee, next to the Hula Lake. And those cranes that we see in the pictures are coming from north, meaning from Europe and from Russia, basically. They're coming from north to south. Israel is south to Europe and Russia. And since the seasons are changing, the cranes are wandering southwards to more warm climate. And in Bar Rubin, this is the photographer, she took those two pictures. One of them at the dusk, the right one, where it seems that the crane is landing on the moon with its two legs, and the other one later after the sun sets. And we hear the full moon on the background of the dark night when we see only the head of the crane. So before I will speak about those two pictures, or basically maybe only one, I would like to hear your impressions, Fernando, Felipe, Daniel, Nedelia. Everyone is open to participate in this conversation. Please share your impressions. And there is no good and bad or right or wrong because those are impressions and all those impressions are coming from the one. So please feel free. Fernando?
It's interesting that the moon, you said that represents maybe the womb also, the feminine,
Yes.
and And I'm just wondering, when we think that everything is a reflection from what is happening above, this immigration of the birds could reflect a higher plan, maybe a migration of souls coming to
Mm-hmm.
this world, or
Yes,
going back to that world.
yes, yes. You can see very good because you see on the left, when it's already darkest night, the head of the crane looks like a sperm try to penetrate an egg. So we have the one
Yes.
and the zero. The zero is the egg or the moon, and the how do you say the sperm? Yes. So we see one and zero, or it is. We can see also that from the same point we have the zero and the one. They start at the same place.
Yeah, it's interesting because the word for mother is im or m,
Okay. Yes.
and it is the unity, the aleph, plus the
Yes.
mem, the womb.
Yes.
And
Very good.
to have a mother, you got to have this seed, also the womb.
Thank you. Daniel Osborne is saying the bird is a symbol of the spirit, correct? Yes, thank you so much. Yes, the bird that has wings and the spirit, we say on the wings of spirit. Yes. So what fertilizes the egg is the spirit. Any other impressions?
Do you know what is this? What is it? This bird? Which bird it is?
Crane,
Right.
crane, crane in Hebrew, agul. I will um, crane in Hebrew, agul, agul. And people are saying, why agul? Because the sound that he makes while crossing the sky is goo, goo. They make the sound goo, goo. They speak to each other. While they're flying together, they navigate with their sounds. And the sound of navigation is goo, goo. So in Hebrew, they named him according to the sound that he makes, a goo. Because the sound of communication, the ah is within gu, gu, so agu, agu.
That's interesting.
Daniel says the bird is typically in the cage of our body. Yes, like we are caged in time. This is very good. Yes, we have a bird in us.
And again, we have a collective immigration of the birds, right? They
Yes,
fly
the
they
spirit.
fly with others, you
Yes,
know.
yes. Mm. It is interesting because the bird, they can fly together. The birds, or sometimes the geese, any kinds of a stream of birds, they fly together. We can see like a structure sometimes in the sky. They have navigation, they have communication, and they move to like the spirit. The spirit is something collective. It's very good. Thank you. Any other questions on your heart and minds? I just wanted to say something because yesterday we were speaking about the Pythagoras. Daniel is saying something. The moon has no light of its own making. It only has a condition that allows it to reflect the sun's light. Yes, yes, that's correct. That's correct. Second, we have a new friend here. Good morning, Shelton. Good morning. In a way, if the moon has no light of its own, and did you say that the moon, Fernando, that it reminds you the womb? This is you said at the beginning of
Yes,
the conversation. In a way,
yes.
the womb is rechem is not a power of its own. It receiving the powers. We were saying that womb. You were saying that the moon is like a womb, rechem. Rechem is a masa that doesn't, it also means to, in Aramaic, it means to have mercy, mercy, and to love. This is what it means in Aramaic.
It,
It, yes, it doesn't have a power of its own. It receives its power from the image of God because B'Tselem Elohim, 1 second, B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God, is also 248. It's just a reflection, the womb is just a reflection of B'Tselem Elohim, like Daniel said. Yes, Felipe.
no, I was just thinking about this subject. It's so rich, and today I was having a conversation, and something came about this. May I say this the female condition of being mother and having all the. I will try to say. I will try to speak it in a simple way. Like the mother has all the work to raise the child to it's like the womb is receiving the spirit, the seed, and
Mm-hmm.
it has after it receives the seed, the woman, the feminine aspect, the womb has all the work to raise it to raise. Sorry, I don't know the term. To
To develop the seed into a human.
yes,
Yes.
and after
Yes.
after it, it it you know it's hard to be a mother. It's well,
It's a hard work. It is hard work to be a
and
mother.
I was and then
Yes.
what I was thinking, what work does the father get in this picture? You know, because the seed is already put, and after it,
Mm-hmm.
what you know, it looks like it is a quite unbalanced relation,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just wondering about, you know, but God doesn't do anything unbalanced. It must be our perception, wrong perception, that cannot see what the balance in this relation. So it's just some thoughts about this major subject, but I think it is related with this aspect of the moon and what we are discussing right now. Just if you had something to say.
Thank you. I would like to, before I answer, I'd like to read something that Daniel wrote on your YouTube
Okay.
chat.
Yes.
And it is indirect, but it comes to your thought. When we are babies in the womb, we can hear sound, but we are in complete darkness. We hear before we see.
This is quite interesting.
Yes, we hear before we see.
It.
And yes,
Sorry, sorry. Can may
no,
I speak something?
yes,
Just
come.
because this morning I was reading Weinreb, and it took me so hard because it has a totally related to what Daniel brought. So just to say that. Sorry to to interrupt, but it's very interesting because in the Shema calling,
Yes,
in the prayer of the Shema, which is to
yes.
hear, uh, it's
Mhm,
mentioned the love Shema. Uh, you shall love thy God with all your heart, and
mhm,
it talks about love. And in another way, Weinrebs relates the verb fear of God with
mhm,
it has the same root of see, to see. So I
mhm.
was thinking about this relation. To see with our eyes is related to the awe, to the fear of God, and to hear with our ears it's related with the love of God. So we now in
Very
the
good.
womb we are just listening because maybe because we are surrounded by this huge love of the womb. Just to
Excellent.
share it. Thank you.
Yes, excellent, excellent. In the womb we hear before we see. Yes, and this is the meaning of love, because seeing is splitting us, and as a fear. The fear, if we are afraid, we keep a distance from something. We are afraid, and there is a barrier. So, in a way, yirah, fear, from ra'ah is to see, and we have two eyes. In a way, two eyes. This is the duality. Duality. We have two eyes. Like this is duality. But listen, listen, Israel. God is one. Listening is one. Like love is one. Echad and Ava. So listening basically has to do with love. A person who can listen, he can feel love, the infinite. He can feel the infinite love and he can share it with everyone. So again, we come to this conclusion that everything is dependent on what? On listening. Does it make any sense?
Yes.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. In that draw that you often show us it about I think is Luria's face. There is two yods in the eyes and
Mm-hmm.
two hays in the ears. The
Mm-hmm.
two hays in the ears sums 10, like
Yes.
like an
Yes.
yod, like unity. and the
Yes,
sum of the eyes, 2 yods give us 20. The, the,
yes,
in a way, it's like a duality.
yes, yes,
2 ears give us unity, 2 eyes give us duality.
yes, yes. This is true. Yes. When we just look and experience according to our eyes, we are already outside of the Garden of Eden. Meaning, returning to the garden, even if we're finding ourselves sometimes in unconditional situation with many, many people around, and if we listen in terms of listening inside, we can ascend. It depends on listening because we are always when we fall, we believe our eyes, and when we listen, when we ascend. Shema, listen, the Zohar says, listen, Shema is abbreviation. Shema, listen, is abbreviation of S'u, Marom, Enechem. Carry your eyes to the heavens. Shema. And see who created these. Listening is associated with ascending, and seeing, Reya, seeing with descending.
Eti, could you just clarify what is Shu Mahon Ainihem?
S'u marom enechem is a verse. S'u marom enechem, carry your eyes to the heavens. To, I'll bring the verse to the heavens. I'll bring it, meaning our eyes, whenever we look, we fall like the falling angels, like Nephilim, because we believe what the eyes, the distorted information that the eyes are bringing to us. 1 second, I'll bring the verse. Isaiah 40:26. I'll bring it. Isaiah 40:26. I'll put it here on YouTube.
Those are suggesting numbers of the chapter and verse as well.
Yes, yes, yes. So, do you see, or do you have an access to YouTube, or shall I put it on Slack?
Yes, I got it.
You got it. I'll put it on under class on Slack. So, do you see this, Fernando?
Yes.
Isaiah 40:26. Can you read this, please?
Yes. So Isaiah 14, 26.
40, 40, 40.
40, 40. Okay.
Put it on the.
I got it. Yes. So lift your eyes on high and see. Who hath created this? He that brightened their host by number. He calleth them all by name, by the greatness of his might, and for that he is strong in power, not one faileth.
Thank you so much. You see, if you're looking at the whiteboard, we see S'u Marom Enechem, carry your eyes. This is the abbreviation. Here, put a pen, make it a color. Here, SU, this is Shin, Shin. Marom, heavens, high, Mem. And Einechem, your eyes, is Ain. This is listen. How can we listen when we look above to the cause of causes, to the heavens? This is also interpretation of listening, to look at the cause of causes, not look at the bare end where we are at now, but what brought humanity, the creation. Man did not create a tree, not a bird, not a fish, not a drop of water. It's been given for any cause, but we did not create these. So whenever we want to listen, it's not just listening, it is a deeper listening which is calling us to look and to search in the cause of causes, not at the consequences. Is that understood?
Yes,
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you.
This is amazing. Thank you so much. Because also in this Weinreb speech about the verb to see and to fear, uh, he, he, he brings the sense of that human wants to it's a natural instinct to want to know, want to perceive the reality, and it's not to minimize the aspect of the eyes of the scene at all, but to bring it to unity, not to duality. So thank you so much, Etit, because this this opening of the Shema, this this secret you brought to us, it was something I will carry for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We have another friend here. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, good morning, good afternoon. Nice to host you here. Daniel says the depths of design is very hard to fathom. Verse 26. Thank you, Daniel.
It also makes me think about you know the letters in the Shema with big
Yes.
capital letters.
Mm-hmm.
First of they are two letters, Ain and Dalet,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Yes.
first of them is the Ain. So the
Yes.
eyes, it's I,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you have to have this these eyes must be something, not the eyes from below, but the eyes from above.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
That's true.
it's
That's true
like
because
it's like our
yes,
third eye, you know.
yes, yes, because each ayin is 130. Yes, 70, 10, 50, 130 each ayin, and we have two eyes. So we have ayin and ayin. Sorry, I wrote two yods. It has to be only one. Ayin, I and I is 130, and both eyes are 260. Yes, and 260. This is 260 and Daled. And Daled refers to the name with the four letters.
Eti,
Yes.
one thing only is that I was looking at this verse.
Mm-hmm.
Su mahon inihem
Yes.
vereu mi bara ele.
Yes.
And we have this first part that you brought to us that is referring to Shema,
Yes.
and we have a second part that is the Mi Baraile, that we have that secret on the book of Zohar that
Mm.
you shown to us that is amazing, that we can find here in this part of the verse. Bara Elohim is not
Mm.
a question, is
A
it's
statement.
affirmation, a
Yes.
statement. Yes, thank
Mm.
you.
Mm.
And we have a word between these two secrets
Mm-hmm.
that is uaru, maybe
Mm-hmm.
uh, ureu, ureu,
Yeah.
and ureu we can get the word light or right. So
Good. Yes.
I was just looking at this, and the word light is related with Ein Sof that we were talking in the beginning of class. So when you listen to the secret of creation, maybe you connect with this or with this
Yes.
light of the
Yes.
infinite.
Excellent, Fernando. When we listen, we get, yes, yes, we get a connection to this infinite light or the source of light.
I, I was uh, I was thinking earlier as you were talking about the moon that I noticed the moon today right before the dawn. You could still see the moon even after the sun was rising. You could still see the moon in the sky,
Yes.
right? And thinking
Yes.
about the fact that the moon itself, if the moon is the unknown, the moon doesn't have its own light. It's only a reflection of the sun, even when it is night. Um, the other thing that I thought about was the difference in the Roman calendar and the Hebrew calendar, the 10 days. This transition period is kind of like the dawn, the period between night and the dawning of a new day. And the other thing that you mentioned was about the birds, the cranes. I'm not sure. Many birds fly in a kind of V formation. And I thought perhaps what's interesting about that is that the birds intuitively know that one flies in the front, and then the V formation helps them conserve energy. And then when the one who's in the front gets tired, the other bird, that bird will fall back into the body of the V, so that another bird goes
Yes.
into the front. Right. This is a kind of
Yes.
I think it has some significance for how we go
Yes.
forward as well.
Yes. Yes. And when this one gets tired, he goes back or he combines somewhere, and those in the second place, they continue to lead. Then they exchange power.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you so much. Instead of having the vav like this, parallel lines, this is what happens when they fly. This is what they do.
What's interesting?
Eh,
I think what's interesting,
yes,
Etty,
yes,
is that that image you put on the slide, right? It seems that sometimes the image of the bird is much more defined. It's much more apparent. Sometimes, and this is a kind of I think it's a metaphor for life. Only when it's darkest can you see the stars, and it's similar with the bird, right? During the night, during the
yes.
unknown period, this is when some things become more clear, like the crane flying into the view of the outline of the moon that you posted.
Thank you. It's about our attention, and the more we put our attention into to the cause of causes, and we share it with others, in a way we are creating this V shape that you mentioned. This is like the external. We see birds, yes, that are flying, and they to save, conserve energy, they fly in this structure. But this is also what we do when we converse. It's the same thing. We are building this structure, the world that we are flying into in our minds and hearts. So a person brings a verse, another brings perspective, another shares a picture, another one shares a thought, another one share a sketch or a diagram, and we fly together in this V shape. This is the what characterizes the movement of the spirit. So I would like to thank all of you who come and participate in those conversations via Twitter, YouTube, the whiteboard, by writing, by asking questions, by sharing what we have together. So thank you all and Shabbat Shalom, and we shall meet here tomorrow at the same time.
Thank you, Eti. Shabbat Shalom,
Thank,
everyone.
thank you. Shabbat
Thank you,
Shalom.
Eti. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.